Today, I'll be showing you how to make cold brew concentrate using an OXO cold brew maker. Let's get started. First, you'll want to measure out 284 grams of whole bean coffee. That may seem specific, but that's what OXO recommends, and it's equivalent to about 3.5 cups. Next, you want to grind your coffee, and make sure you're grinding it very coarsely, and I highly recommend using a burr grinder. This type of grinder results in more uniformly ground beans. I'm using the OXO brand, and by rotating that container on top, you can actually adjust the settings so that you can more coarsely grind the beans. That little dial just controls the amount of seconds that the beans are grinding for, and as your container starts to fill up with that ground coffee, you can transfer it into the cold brew maker. It will take a couple trips because you're using a lot of coffee here, and I cannot say that this is recommended, but I do find that giving it a little love shake helps the beans kind of settle into the grinder a little bit. And then you want to make sure that your cold brew maker is set up properly. By pulling this little piece underneath, you can make sure that the latch is upright, which you can see me demonstrate here, and then you should easily be able to slide that glass container underneath. Now you're ready to go. Next, you want to measure out 1,200 milliliters of cold water. Then you can pour the water into the coffee through this rainmaker. This helps the water distribute more evenly. And by the way, it's about 5 cups of water if you're not using a kitchen scale. Once the water is in there, you'll want to stir with something like a rubber spatula or a wooden spoon. By the way, I emphasized setting this up properly because at first I poured the water in and the latch was down, so it started leaking everywhere. Anyways, now you'll let it brew basically overnight. It smells great in here and I can't wait to have that coffee. The next day, you can release it and let the concentrate flow out. It will start off by coming out pretty quickly, but it will slow down, and make sure that you give it the time it needs to fully extract. Now, it may not look like there's a ton when you're done, but this is a concentrate, remember. So this isn't just cold brew that you're gonna drink straight. Once everything has kind of flowed through, you can dump out the grounds. So I like to get some sort of sponge or paper towel or something so that it doesn't drip on my way over to the garbage can. There may be a way to reuse these grounds, but I haven't found that yet, so leave a comment if you know. But then you'll want to rinse the cold brew container out, and it doesn't always need to have this super deep clean, but it's not a bad idea to run some warm soapy water through it. And once you're done cleaning up, make sure that you store your cold brew concentrate in the fridge. The glass container does come with a lid that seals it shut, so I just pop that on there and then I basically just put it in the fridge. Like I said, this is a concentrate and it will make a lot of coffee drinks. It usually lasts me about 2 weeks. I use a 1-to-3 ratio, so just as an example, I use 1/4 cup of the concentrate and 3/4 cup of cold water. This results in what you would typically drink as a cold brew. I like to pour that over ice, and sometimes I drink it black and sometimes I add a cold foam. And I would definitely recommend trying out the toasted marshmallow cold brew.